can her decisions be reviewed?
Oh, I am sure that they can, and that would be a hope of ours, is that you can't hide behind. One thing I've learned is on a case-by-case basis, justice won't necessarily prevail. You hope that the general theme of legal issues, that there's a general sense of justice, but a judge can go in there with a predetermined idea of what kind of ruling they want, and they can look at all the different various case laws supporting one side or the other, and spin them in a way that supports their conclusion, and that's just what happens. And so that's probably what was done here. The code used for the fighting man, which is different from the military administrative code of conduct, is different, and so their officers are allowed a little more discretion in upholding lawful orders or not, and so there's some thought that maybe the wrong uniform military codes were perhaps relied upon, but I guess we'll find out.
And if it was and is intentional reversible error, it would seem to me, regardless of how much they're trying to hide it, that's a damaging item to one's career. To come up with a decision like that, Judge Lind, military officer, I don't know if in the civilian side people get sanctioned for doing things like that. I know there are frivolous lawsuits, and you get sanctioned for that, but a decision that's wholly, intentionally reversible, I don't know if you can get sanctioned for that.
Right. And yet, which was the easier way out for her? Really, what's a ruling that may upset the status quo and throw us in a position where the military and the Congress, perhaps, or the Supreme Court actually has to address the issue, or just put a guy away that has done nothing wrong other than ask for the truth.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's amazing, because what it will do, guaranteed, if Lieutenant Colonel Lakin is convicted, it's going to ignite the country. That's it. And in a lot of ways, not to revolution, but it's going to be absolutely everyone on Congress's doorstep until this thing is fixed. Also, we're at this point right now where we hope the Supreme Court does the right thing and upholds the Constitution. And the Apuzzo case, when you take a look at that, the Kirchner case, I think you will very much appreciate the legal materials that went behind and into it. It's just a superb case. Speaking as a non-lawyer, of course, but I've learned quite a lot from it. And so if there is a grant of the petition for writ, then again that would allow the military to put it in the Supreme Court, and also and if the Supreme Court doesn't take it, then it's Congress is our next step, and that intervention. So hopefully, even December 14th and 15th, there, it's not a final, it's not a decision. It's a stay pending review. It's a postponement. I don't know if there can be any more postponements, in the trial or whatnot. Can you provide any insight into that? I'm just one, lonely and cold hydrologist up here in North Dakota. Give me some insight here.
God bless you up there. No, I know that they could postpone this, for any reason whatsoever. And so the hope is that if they want to see, are truly interested in justice and finding the truth and once and for all making these issues go away, they're going to have to address it on a larger level. So I agree with you. Let the Supreme Court do their job now. They're supposed to protect the little guy, and they're supposed to make sure that things like this don't happen. And yet, they're so polarized or politicized right now that I don't believe they're the Supreme Court of old. The Supreme Court of old probably would have taken this issue on long ago. But and Congress, again, is so polarized that anybody that brings up any issue along these lines with regard to the president and his eligibility, it's automatically deemed to be just a political maneuver. And so
or racist, or just
or
ridiculous.
Right.
And the fact that we have all hung in, and the fact that there are people like Terry standing up, just absolutely means this issue is not going away. And ask anybody who can be labeled a birther if this is about race, and they will all tell you no. This is about national security and our Constitution, and this is really dangerous. We just had a missile fired off the coast of California, another one fired off the coast on the East Coast. What's going on? There are subs patrolling the waters, and we have somebody using the vast resources of that office to basically not even produce a document that is like that. So I see, just sort of cycling back a little bit, that for Judge Lynn there are probably some career considerations for her in terms of whether she could move or not. But hopefully the larger issue can be seen, and hopefully they take notice. I think I told you, but I just wanted to repeat for both the audience and others, is in the petition for writ of certiorari submitted by Mario Puzo on behalf of Commander Kirshner, they asked the Supreme Court to take notice of the affidavit submitted in Colonel Lakin's case, Lieutenant Colonel Lakin's case, by General McCurney. Did you see that?
I did. It was very well done. Very well done.
Oh, my goodness. And one of the reasons they are arguing, they presented 4 questions before the Supreme Court and then listed a host of reasons of why the Supreme Court should take this issue. And one of those was essentially our national security and the chain of command, that there has to be security. There has to be certainty in the chain of command. And so citing not only that affidavit, but Lieutenant Colonel Lakin's case, I hope when that sees the judge's eyes, that they will see that this is really big. This is not, quote unquote, a bunch of birthers. We are constitutionalists, and there are people who are risking their lives every day. And what alarms me is all the lower courts, dismissing everything based on standing, and this tremendous delay. How many of those troops that were sent over under his direct order have been killed? And what is the consequence then of an ineligible commander-in-chief sending people into war? That is really very serious. And you can see why, in my view, why they're going after Terry so hard, and why they've ridiculed everybody who's been on this so hard, because it is really serious. And I just don't know. I mean, do you get that seriousness as well? As what do people in your circle talk with you about? What do you hear?
People are starting to realize that this is a serious issue. I think the recent elections told us that. It takes people a little while to ask the right questions, and to be honest with you, in this current regime's initial, we were all, everybody's excited to see about all this change, and you're right. Obama is very good at deflecting true issues. It's political deflection 101. So you're right. When birthers, he belittles them, and then the Tea Parties get made fun of, and anybody that challenges him on anything, and it's demeaning comments one after another, and then after a while, You start meeting birthers, and you realize they really are very intelligent. They've got real issues that need to be addressed. I've met many Tea Party people, and they are hardworking people with real issues that need to be addressed. And so it's unfair that they're put down or that they're even. In fact, to me, they're the true patriots. To me, that people that take a stand like this is what's needed, and those that some of Obama's comments, I think, are coming back to haunt him. He belittles these people in his little partisan political crowd, and he gets laughs. But the people that he makes fun of don't forget. And then those of us sitting in the sidelines realize that this is the mark of a bully, and that this is a mark of somebody trying to perhaps hide the facts. And so now the general public and the moderates, or whatever you want to call them, are starting to side and realize that quit ducking the issue. Quit ducking the issue, and let's talk about some serious issues here that need to be addressed. So, what was I think he said to Matt Lauer the other day? Obama said, "What do I got to do? Paste my birth certificate to my forehead and wear it around?" It's